Well, they've updated a rifle that is already an amazing piece of kit and praised by so many shooters. And today I'm going to take a look at this latest incarnation. Hello and welcome to AAR on Air. It's AGT time and I've been eagerly waiting quite a while for this one. It's the AGT Uragan 3. Oh, spoiler alert. This is exactly what I expected from AGT. Superb. Let's take a closer look, shall we? Firstly, let me explain again the naming system from AGT. They will have a tendency to number their guns, such as the Vulcan, which has the Vulcan 2 and a Vulcan 3. Now, it's not just the next generation, it is a different gun. But here in Blighty, and probably most places outside of the more eastern side of Europe, we assume the 2 is the old model and no longer worth looking at because it's now the version 3. Nope, it's a different version of the Vulcan in that example. Hence, the Uragan 3 is out, but the Uragan 2 is still available and a model all on its own. That said, there are similarities and differences, and I'll take a look at those a little later. Firstly, let me walk around this Uragan 3 that I have here. The model that I have here is the 600mm barrel version, which has an overall length of around 900mm or 35.5 inches in standard form. But you have the ability to add an additional silencer on this, which will naturally change that length. It is beautifully finished in this walnut stock that resembles the British American Tobacco McLaren F1 car from the late 90s with its split advertising. You see, this has an almost beige colour on one side and the darker and patterning on the other. It's beautiful. There are the options of red or green lamina and of course the more all-weather friendly synthetic stock. One point to highlight here is the stocks from the U2 will not fit the U3, but the stocks from the U3 will fit the U2, so they are only reverse compatible. From the front then, there is the all-black shrouded barrel with a removable thread protector with a 14mm thread underneath for adding the AGT silencer if you wish. Alternatively, you can use the Eagle Vision adapter, which will reduce it to a more UK standard 1/2-inch UNF thread, allowing you to fit most any silencer of your choice. Now, Eagle Vision have produced a new silencer that will look pretty amazing, or you could fit the XL from Viroc or XLK, which I have here, which also looks perfectly. And of course, the DBs just drop off. Now, below this is that massive 530cc gloss carbon air cylinder for the top trump shot count players out there, which means a transit van full of rabbits or a very sore finger on the range before needing filling back up to its 300 bar max fill pressure. I must say, AGT do some of the prettiest carbon air cylinders around. Below this is the metal cradle to help protect this with key mod mounts at the front. Now, this U3 is currently fitted with a bottom Picatinny rail, but this can be swapped out for the now becoming more popular Arca Swiss rail system for the more rigid and heavier duty tripod systems coming into the market. Back up to the top then, we find, which is currently wearing a Continental scope, the 20 MOA Picatinny rail for your preferred sighting option. Directly below this is the smooth biathlon style lever, which is switchable from left to right if you prefer, giving this unquestionable ambidextrous shooting style. Below this again is the dual-sided safety, which is lovely to use and nicely defined, with forward for fire and back for safe. Then we come down to the multi-adjustable two-stage trigger, which is a real dream to use. There is also the filler port with dust plug just in front of the trigger housing, at the side of which is the air gauge, which is a black on white AGT item. Now there's no regulator gauge though, but that is no deal breaker as far as I'm concerned. I've seen so many people read regulator gauges rather than the fill gauges and get very confused. The only thing left is that beautiful double-sided patterned walnut stock with a finish to rival a Manelli stock. If you don't like the wood, then there is a choice of red or green laminates, or the all-weather polymer option, if you're going to be a little harder on your U3. Whichever you use, you have the adjustable butt pad to make it more comfortable and more personalised to yourself. This being a bullpup, the magazine drops into the back end from the left-hand side and will fit completely flush. Again, allowing that truly ambidextrous shooting option. Loading these magazines is really simple. Just pop in your first pellet, then rotate to the next hole, pop in the next, and so on. And it will just hold itself in place. And once you've got all rounds in, as I've said, pull it and drop it in from the left-hand side. Now this one is the 177 caliber version, which has 16 rounds, but the U3 is available in 177, 22 and 25 options. There is even a .30 option for special order. But the .25 and .30 are probably better in the 700mm barrel option, and they're capable of some high power outputs for those that are going to put them on ticket. Time to get this over the chronograph to check out the power of this sub 12 foot-pound model. As usual, starting with the lighter 8.44 grain, pretty standard weight pellets, it saw 794 feet per second, which is 11.82 foot-pounds or 16.03 joules. Time to drop some heavier 10.34 grains in then, which, with these on board, it saw 716 feet per second, which is 11.77 foot-pounds or 15.96 joules. Nothing wrong with those figures for either target work or pest control. Now, before I pop some nice glass on this, I really wanted to do a bit of a comparison between this U3 and the U2. Well, with them side by side, there isn't a lot that is immediately obvious, but a closer look will highlight some subtle differences. Firstly, the top rail is slightly longer on the U3 to aid fitting larger optics, including night visions and add-ons, etc. The trigger guard is also slightly larger to cover off glove-wearing shooters in cold weather. From here on, though, most of the differences are internal, and they include an enhanced block and receiver with a reworked trigger and firing mechanism, an improved firing valve assembly, a simplified power plenum for better airflow and improved shot efficiency, a new pressure regulator for even more consistent performance, if that was at all possible, an upgraded hammer system for greater precision adjustment. And they have also fitted a depinger to reduce the noise, making the U3 even quieter. So there have been a lot of changes to improve the overall shooting experience from what is an amazing platform in the U2 version anyway. Right, let's get that scope on this and get it out on the range. Now, on the Uragan, I do favour a larger tube scope, and I feel a Continental is in order. And let's get the maximum experience and feel from this beautiful bullpup out at 40 metres. Here goes. The AGT Uragan 3. It's gold. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Before I even start, I've just fallen in love with the woodwork on this anyway. This is the walnut one, or the wood, it is walnut, but they do a polymer, a laminate red and a laminate green, and they're all beautiful. Obviously you'd have the polymer one if you're actually out shooting, pesting and so on and so forth. It's not too heavy, so you could use it for pesting. It's not the lightest gun I've shot. It would be its sibling, the Vixen, if you wanted something ultra light. But the Uragan 2 has always been known for being a really nice gun to use and super accurate. I have, on this occasion, put the Continental 4-24x56 on the top because I think it demands it. You have got more air to throw at this than you could ever dream of down a range or whatever. It's a huge tank on over 500cc, half a litre of air. I haven't even put a silencer on this, and it's not that loud, but you can then put the silencer on it as well. Obviously it makes it a little bit longer. And the cocking arm is on the left hand side at the moment. It could easily be just put onto the right, and that is a very simple thing to do. Nothing that I probably haven't already said, but let's crack on with it. I haven't put the Arca Swiss rail on the bottom. I'm just shooting off a bag cum tripod, which I do actually quite like. I like this one a lot. I've started using it a lot. And we're loaded up, and I think I've taken probably 3 shots to try and zero it. It's very cold, my fingers are very cold, and we will now give it a go and see if we can make it proud. I'm shooting Barracuda 8s. I must admit, usually the AGTs like the QYSs. I know in my Vulcan, that's what I put through it. But I'm just going to stick with these Barracuda 8s for now. That was me. This is in real time, so I'm not taking an awful lot of time between shots. I'm just going for it. And the first thing I would say quite comfortably and categorically is that's well capable of outshooting me. I am the weak link. in this one. Let me go and get that target and we'll see how we've done. Here we go. As I said, the weak link is me, and I am really cold. Just to tell you how cold it is, that camera, which is currently filming, hopefully, has been playing up simply because of the cold weather. As soon as I warm it, it will start going again. So it is very cold today. I think that, as I've said, is more than capable of outshooting me. On a nice warmer day, I would expect, with some relaxation and really going for it, you'd be putting them through pretty much cleanly through the same hole. I am definitely the weak link on that one. I've said it too many times already. These things are sublimely accurate, absolutely sublimely accurate. I get the feel for this, and it's very difficult to explain sometimes. You pick a gun up and you can feel that it's going to be an accurate gun, or you can feel that this is going to be hard work. This is not hard work. This is more than capable. In fact, I would go as far as to say you've got that feel of this being one of the most accurate guns that I've shot recently. I've recently shot the FX DRS, which was actually accurate, and it's a nice gun to shoot. I will absolutely be honest with you, but you've got to work at it a little bit. It's demanding a little bit more from you. This isn't. I know this may sound really strange, but it isn't. This is sit down, I'll help you, if you like. It does complement you, and I don't know how it does it. It's a bit like James May on the Top Gear thing with his fizzy thing inside. These give you that, and you know that it's a comfortable gun to shoot, and it's capable. I really, really like this gun, and I would really like to hang on to it, to shoot it in warmer conditions on a nicer day where my hands aren't shaking because they're so cold. I really like this gun. Anyway, there you go. I could wax lyrical about it all day. You really need to try one of these things so you get the fizzy thing inside, if you like. I love it. I really do love it, and I love my Vulcan as well, my Vulcan 3. So here we go, the new Uragan 3, nice piece of kit. Back to the studio. Yeah. Now, I was with Neil from Rack and Load yesterday. What a really, really nice guy he is as well. If you get a chance, check him out if you haven't already done. I'm sure you have, because he's brilliant. Yeah, Rack and Load. And he walked away yesterday with a Uragan 3 as well, so he will be putting a review together on his. He's got the polymer version, which is really good. So I'll be interested to see how his shooting is. Hopefully he picks a warmer day. I think he's a better shot than me anyway, but hopefully he picks a warmer day and you can see just how accurate these things are. But I'm not content with what I've just done. I'm going to try again, and this time I have indeed put some QYSs in. You watch, it'd be all over like a shotgun. But that's what I use, as I said, in my Vulcan 3. So we'll give it a go. I'm nattering again. It is cold and I'm not warming up, even though I'm talking hot here. Yeah, I know. Right, let's give it a go. I haven't re-zeroed it, so it may be off-centre. I'm stopping at that. Beat that one, Neil. Now this is where it all goes to pot now. Told you it would. Get the fizzy thing. I'm just shooting the centre out now anyway. Yeah, shot the centre out. It will do it. I absolutely love this thing. I really love this thing. Yeah, I want one. Yeah, I really want one. They've done such a good job, AGT have. You just pick one up and they feel so right. I'm going to stop because I'm just, as I said, I'll just wax lyrical about this all day. You have got to get your hands on one of these and try one of these. And if you don't believe me, I don't know. See what Neil says on Rack and Load. I love it. I love it. This time, back to the studio. I might carry on a bit, but yeah, back to the studio. There's a spinner the size of a 5p piece, a dime as the Americans would say. It's gone. And I haven't missed it. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. That's what I've come to expect from AGT, to be fair. Superb and so easy to use, giving the shooter such a pleasurable experience. I suppose we should talk price then, really. Well, this 600mm version in walnut is around £2,000, so it's not a budget gun at all. But with the higher end guns in excess of this from other manufacturers, this is starting to make perfect sense and looks very much like value for money to me. You could save yourself a little bit by having that polymer stock version, which is around £1,850. Still want to get the price down? Well, as I said, the U2 is still current and a superb airgun and will save you a further £150 and is currently running at £1,700 UK. AGTs really are superb, and as a few of you will know, I recently bought a Vulcan 3 in walnut and I love it. It was modified and has 2 regulators on board, courtesy of Karl at Vector Air. He has probably forgotten more than I'll probably ever know. If you haven't tried any of the AGT range, then you've missed out, and you should probably try to correct that oversight as soon as possible. As you can probably tell, I've enjoyed this one, and hopefully you have too. If so, please give us the old thumbs up, subscribe, click the alarm notification bell, and whilst you're clicking away, you really should get over to the AAR On Air website and join in with all the competitions that are running and check out the merch, etc. A big thank you to the guys down at Vector Air, who are the importers for AGT, for getting hold of these 2 for me to review for you. That's it for this time. Please stay safe and shoot safe, and hopefully I'll see you again next time. Bye for now. Choices. I do like that multi-stock. I think that's gorgeous.